Nice having you here and welcome to my Python class. In this particular class, we're going to be looking at how to bring insight from healthcare data or hospital data. So if your aim is to actually look at how you can actually analyze data using Python, this particular video will definitely help you. All you have to do is to actually follow me step by step. So see you in the class. All right, everyone. In the previous videos, we have actually answered question from number 1 to number 9 right here. So today we're going to be focusing on this particular part. If you launch your Jupyter Notebook inside Anaconda, it's going to bring you and show you all the files you have inside a PC. So we have a file called, Python project. I don't know what you save your own as. So I'm going to open the hospital project number 6 right here. So that will definitely give me something like this. And previously, we have actually created this in the previous video. So our focus today is going to be mainly on this particular part where it says, what is the total number of patients admitted per week, month and year. So add a filter to filter the month by year. So if you look at it, we have our data frame right here, which is this. We have some libraries imported in, and here is the DF or data frame where we actually store in our data that we're going to use. So this is from the previous video. In case you don't have this video watched already, please go ahead and do that. So we are going to be using some of those particular codes we have right here, specifically this particular part here. So I can copy this now, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to paste this down over here. So over here, what I'm going to do is just to go ahead and create a new column. So if I actually try to show this now, so what this one is going to give to us is just giving me, admission day. Can you see it now? If you look at it right now, here is admission day. So this helps us to create a column that actually gives us the name of the days, Monday to Sunday, right? That is what we have done with that. So what are we doing? We're trying to actually answer this particular question where it says, what is the total number of patients admitted per week? So the next thing now is for we to go into the next line over here. So we have to group data by the day name and count the total admissions we actually have. So over here, we have a new variable which is actually getting in the total numbers of admission. So all we have to do here, we actually have admission day. So we have to actually count how many patients were admitted on each day. So over here, we're going to actually have here admission day, exactly the way it is inside our data frame. So we're going to come out of it and say dot size, and we go ahead and do this. So if I try to display this particular admission day right now, over here, run this. So this is what we are going to have over here on Friday, Monday, Saturday, and Sunday, Thursday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is what we actually have, and those are the numbers of admissions for every single name of day, right? So we have done that. This is not just the end of it, because if you look at the question, it says, what is the total numbers of patients admitted per week? So exactly, this gives us what we want, but let's do something more. The next thing now is to create another of these. So we already have that done here. So if you look at it, we have this particular part, a list that helps us to some kind of, sort the name of day. So I'm going to come down here and have this pasted in here. Sort the name of day. So over here, I'm going to paste this one here. This is just a list, right? So it wouldn't make any sense if I decide to run this now, like if I do day underscore order, it's going to throw back the list to us. So which means it doesn't make any sense right away. So what we're going to do right now is for we to do this, I'm going to copy this particular variable here, bring it down over here and say equals back again. So this is dot reindex. So I think it's day underscore order fill underscore value here. So let's just go ahead and try to run this now, this particular new one here, and let's see what this is going to give to us. And here is going to be equals 0. So I'm going to explain to you what that does. So we have this from Monday to Sunday. We have just sorted this right now the way it should be, different from what it were before. So why do we have this particular, lines of code right here? This is to ensure that days appear in order, like from Monday to Sunday. So the fill part of this particular code right here, we actually set it to be equals to 0. That is that we want to ensure that missing days actually will take 0. Like if we have a particular name of day that do not have any value, instead of us to have NA or an error, we want to display 0. But in our own case, we do not have anything like that right in here. I hope you get this right now. So we have option. We might want to go into a different cell to get the visualization created. Let us come into this particular cell and have the visualization created. So all I'm going to do right now, here we have admission as a variable by day here. So I'm going to bring it down here, and in here I'm going to do create a visual. So now my variable, this variable actually is this particular one right here, where we sorted our week names, right? So we are going to actually create a chart with this. I'm going to say dot plots, and here let's say kind equals bar, right? So we come out of it. Here we're going to set color for it. Color, let the color be I'm looking forward to sky blue. Any color could be, so let's do sky blue. Then this fixed size, that is the height and width. We're gonna do fixed size here equals inside parentheses, gonna do 10 by 4. Let's see this. So if I go ahead and actually have this run now, oh, we have an issue here, invalid. We shouldn't have equal sign over here. Let me get it off. Run this again. So now we have this. It's giving us back this particular one here, and as well we have already the kind of chart we want to display. Remember, you can customize this particular chart with any color of your choice. Over here, I can go right on my browser and search for color.adobe. So over here, it has this open for us. So we are talking about admission. We don't want to use, I think admission, people coming in. Let's go ahead and use any color from here. For example, I want to go with this particular color, just copy, and let's go back in here now. So all we have to do is to some kind of replace sky blue with this particular one. And if I hit my enter key right now, here we go. We have something like this. In my previous videos, I've shown you how to actually add the data label to it. So you can actually look at how you could do that. So if you look at it right now, we can actually say, adding the X and the Y axis, which is not really important, it depends on what you want. So we can work on the rotation, how we want it to go. So let me show you how to customize this a little bit. So over here now, we do not actually have any title for it. So I'm going to do plt here dot title. So inside it now, what we want is going to be admission by day of the week right here. So if I go ahead and run this now, here we have a title right here. This is what is very important for we to actually add to this. So you might want to work on the rotation to rotate this. So if you want to do that right now, you can actually come over here and do plt dot x ticks, right? So over here we're gonna do rotation equals. So if I do equals 0 and run this now, let's see what we have. So we're going to have something like this. So look at what happens if I decide to just comment this out and not to make it work. And run this again. So we're going to have something like this. So we might want to set this to 0. So it depends on, you can actually change the number from 0 to 2, 3, keep increasing it to see what the behavior here would actually be like. So this is exactly what you need to know. Can you see it now? So what if we want to identify the top 3, weekdays admission? Because over here right now, we can't really talk about that. So how can we actually go ahead and do that? It's something very simple, right? So let us quickly come over here now. I can leave one cell. If I hold my shift key, I can add multiple cells by holding the shift key, and the enter key will add more cells for me to work with. So over here now, I'm going to do top 3 days with high admission. So to get that done right now, I can just do a variable here called top 3 admission day. So what I'm going to do now is going to do this particular df here, which is my data frame. So inside it here, I want to actually bring in my admission day, which is the column we added, right? So we want to do dot value. So underscore counts. So we are counting, and we're going to limit it. If we just do this right now, so let's see what happens if I run this alone. Let's see what's going to happen. So run this, hold your control key and the enter key will run it for you, and it will return the same exact thing right in here for you. So what do we do when what we want is just the top 3? So we can come over here right now and do dot n largest. Inside here we throw in 3. And if we run this right now, it's going to limit it to just the top 3. So it's Sunday, Friday, and Wednesday. If we go back here right now, so we can just, let me do this. So fine. So here we have Sunday, which is the highest. So we have Friday, the second highest, and we have Wednesday. This is exactly what you need to know, right? It's something very simple. So what if you want to get a button as well? So I can just go ahead and copy this whole thing from here. Now go over here and paste this now. Here I can just turn this one to button 3. So instead of me showing up here the n largest, I can do n smallest here, and I wouldn't show top again here. I can just edit this particular part here to be bottom. So we have to copy the variable and run it, and let's see what we have. So you can see right here is giving us Tuesday, Monday, and Saturday, which does not really reflect here because those are the top. And if you look at it now, the values here are higher than the values we have right in here. This is exactly what it is that you need to know. You get it right now? So this is how you create the smallest and the largest as well. So if we come back to this particular question again, so I'm going to say we have actually solved this particular part right here. So specifically the admitted patients per week. So right now we're going to look into the month and the year. So first of all, let us look into the month here. So if you look at my highlight here right now, and we go back here to the end of it here, it says month by year, which means we have to create a filter that can actually filter by the year, which is filtering the month by year. It's something very technical. Let me show you how to do it. So over here now, we're going to be looking at the total admission by month filtered by year. So we're going to be using the previous data frame, which is in the previous video. We have this DF right here for data frame, and we have some libraries imported right in here. And this will definitely help us to get things done rightly. Like this particular line of code here is very important in case if you've not watched this particular video, please go ahead and do that, because what this particular line of code does is to help us to convert, admission date to a proper date format, right? To avoid any errors. So going back down here right now, what we're going to do is to actually create our filter for the first time. So here we're going to do our filter using the year of admission. So I'm going to call this one selected underscore year equals. So currently I'm going to do just 2023 here. So this is the selected year. So watch what happens with this particular selected year here. So I can't display selected year because if I do that, it's just going to give me back the 2023. So what I'm going to do here right now is going to be filtering the month by the selected year. So let's see what happens here. I will do df underscore year. So equals df. So don't worry, even if you don't understand what is going on, I'm going to show you what exactly I'm doing. So we do under df again. So inside here now, what I'm going to do is df, and I will say we do, df. So we do have a particular column called admission date. So with this particular admission date now, so I want to do dt dot year. So where it is equals, that is our selected year dot copy. You see this now? So sorry, here I'm going to take this off. My dot copy here will come here. So open close parenthesis. Let's run this now and see what happens. So this is what it gives us here. It might not make any sense for now, but this shows that it is actually working. So let us quickly talk about what this particular line of code here is actually doing. So what this does is that it filters the rows where the discharge date or date year is equals to the selected year. So everything here right now will be equals to 2023. That is what this will actually do. So if we change this to 2024, 25, 26, and all of that, it will actually change the month to only include every single admission that happens in that particular year for each month, right? So that copy ensure that the data frame this df year right here is separated, is a separate column of the filter data, allowing you to satisfy or to safely modify it without affecting the original data frame, right? So you can see when we did run this here, and if we go right here right now, so what we just see is just the admission day and the admission month. We do not have any extra one added, but in all, it actually filtered something, which you're going to see in a jiffy. So let us go into the next line. Month column. So we already have a month column, but in this particular case, I want to use the long month. Let me show you how to construct a long month, because over here we have the shorter month, which we have used, recently. If you want to add the long month right now, we can just do df underscore year, and over here we can do admission month. So over here we're going to do equals df underscore year. So we do here admission date. So dot df dot month. So over here we are going to do df underscore year and have this run quickly. Okay, as you can see, we have an error. So here it says admission date. So let us go back up here and let's see what the error is. So admission. So we omitted the I from here. So you can click here to run it. So do we still have any issue? Series object has no attribute df. Where that is coming from? Oh, sorry, not df. It should be dt right in here. So click over here or control enter to run it. This time around, we should have what we want exactly. So if we go over here right now, we should have something new in here. So what we have now is just the month number right in here. So it's kind of extracting the month number for us. So from 1 to 12, that is what it has done. If you look at it, admission month is extracting the month number. So for we to extract the month name right now, what we have to do is just for we to do here month name. So we're going to be extracting the month name. To extract the month name, we do this particular df underscore year. So it's going to be equals. So we're going to be creating another column. So call the month name. So this particular month name here, we're going to do equals df underscore year. So we're going to say copy this from the admission date, right? So it's going to be dot dt. So dot month underscore name. That is it. So this will actually help us to extract the full month name from January down to December, from the admission date. It will create it as a new column for us. So if we go ahead and run this right now, let's see what we're going to have. So over here, an error code cannot assign to, where did I make that mistake? Oh, let's see. There shouldn't be an equal sign here, I presume. Let's see this again. Okay, it works. So now we're going to have a new column. This new column right now is giving us the month in full. If you look at the previous one, it was the shorter month. So if you want that one, you can just copy and replace it and it will work fine just the way you want it, right? But right now we are using a full month right in here. So the next thing we have to do right now is to create grouping by grouping the data by month and counting the admission that we have on each month. So let's go ahead and do that. So over here, we're going to just try to give comment to every single line of code for you to know what they all do. So I'm going to do here total admission on a monthly basis. So now over here, we're going to do monthly underscore admission. equals. So let's do this now. So we have here the month, which is this particular variable here, stores in the name of month. So we paste it in here, and we can go down and say dot group by. So inside here, we want to group it by the admission month. So what's the admission month? The admission month is the month number. If you want that, it's optional. So I might want to do that. Let's say we want to do that now. I can just copy this particular part right here, or you can type it in if that is what you want. So we'll just paste this in here, right? So the next thing you want to do right now is to group it by this particular month name as well. So you can copy this now, come over here. So you have to put a comma on it, and you group it by this. So over here, we can go down, can do dot size. So we do this. So the next thing now is for we to do dot reset underscore index. So we do name equals total patients. So we do here total patients. So we come down here, it's going to be dot sort underscore value. Then we're going to do here admission month. So now we have to run this. So we have an error. Let's go down here. Data frame object has no attribute sort value. I think it's gonna be values S here. Let's do that. It's just a silly mistake. Let's do an S. Run this again and let's see. So now we have what we want. So here January is 1 and December is 12 accordingly. So we have all the patients admitted on every single month. This is just for a particular year. So look at what we have right here right now. In January, we have 318. This is just for the year 2023. What if I do 2024 right here and run this, and let's see what we have. We just have 2 months data for 2024, and this is what we have right in here. So if we go all the way up right here, we said we want to do total admission by month filtered by year, and now we can actually control the filter right here, and it filters the data that we have right in here. So if we go by 2022 now, it's going to give us something different. Let's do this now. And if we go down here now, can you see it's here? So we have the complete month for this particular, year 2022. So you can change it to whatever year you want to change it to, and it will reflect just the same thing right here. Okay, this is actually good, but what if we actually dynamically add some kind of title to it that would actually tell us what exactly we are looking at? So let's go above this particular one here, and over here what I'm going to do is just to do print, and with my print here I want to say here f string. So inside here I'm going to do total patients admitted in the year. So right now, to bring this in, this curly bracket here, so we're gonna do, I think it's called selected year. If I can't remember it, what I'm gonna do is just to go all the way up here, and here we go, we have the variable that starts in the year. So we can just copy and go all the way down here and paste it right in here. So if I run this right now, look at what I'm going to have. So total patients admitted in the year 2022. And look at what happens if I go here and have this change to 2024, for example. Let's run this again. And now here we go. Can you see how swift this could actually look? So this is exactly what you need to know right? It's something very simple. So I always love to do some kind of charting, you understand? So I might want to just create a line chart for it. So let's do create a line chart to visualize it. So I want to do here markdown. Okay, to have this particular line chart created, before I do that, let me quickly explain to you what this particular line of code does, because that is exactly what you need to know, right? So we have here the variable, right? And we have here group by. So what this particular code is doing is some kind of group the data by the numeric month, right? So numeric month here is the admission month, right? And as well, we group by the month name as well. So if you look at it, we have the admission month and month name right here. So we created a group. If you don't want to group it by the month number, you want to just group it by the month name, you can actually take this off. It will be grouped by the month name, vice versa, right? So over here, we have a size. So what the size does is to calculate how many rows we have for admission or fall into each group. So the total admission for each month will be counted for rate. Can you see it right now? So over here we have reset index where we have the name total patient right in. So what it does is to convert the grouping result into one new data frame with column name called total, patients, like what we have right in here. So if I decide to take off the total from here right now and just run this without the total, so we have the patients right in here. I can just put an hash here, which is numbers of patients. So we're going to have numbers of patients right in here. And the last part is going to be the sort values, which is this particular part right here. So sort values. So the sort values, what it does is to ensure that the resulting data frame is sorted by month order. So which means it helps us to sort the month from January down to December. That is what it does. So the takeaway from here is the group by, understand the group by. So which means what do we want to group and how do we want to group it? This is what we call dimension. And this particular one here is creating a count to see how many patients falls into every single month or month number. And this particular part right here, creating new name to actually store in the numbers right in, while this one is actually sorting. So try to remember the group by, the size, the reset index, and as well sort values right in here. So once you have done that, let us proceed into creating or displaying this as a line chart. Is very, very important. So if you look at what we're about to do right now, we do not have to import any libraries again right in here. So if I go all the way up right now, in our previous video, we did import those particular groups of libraries right in here, like the Seaborn, the Pandas, and the Matplotlib right in here. So they can actually still work for this. If you have not actually gotten this done, please watch the previous video. So we go all the way down here now. What we need to do is to straight up creating our line chart. So over here, I'm going to do setting the figure size. So plt dot figure. So here we're going to do fig size. So we do here equals the height and width is what we're going to set. Let's set it to 10 by 5, right? So 10 by 5. So once we have done that now, the next thing now is plotting the data. So we can't run this. We just have to go ahead and plot the data. So here we can do plotting the data. So to plot the data right now is going to be plt.plot. So over here we want to plot the month. I think let's go up here. So we can use the month name right in here. So here is the month name. We can just copy this away from here and come over here now. So what I'm gonna do is just to do paste over here. So once I paste this in here, what I need to do again is just for me to say comma and I'll paste it again. So over here, I'm going to do this. And in here is going to be total patients, right? So I can step this down to continue from here. So if I step this down now twice and inside it, I've got to do marker equals 1, comma, and line style equals just dash. So we're going to set the color. So the color here is going to be equals. So we can just go ahead and copy any color of our choice from here. If you remember what we have done here, let's do the same color. Let's copy the same color here. Come back here. I'll paste in this particular color right in here. You see this now? So let us run this and see what we're gonna have. So we already have an error here, invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Let's see where that is. So this is the df here. So the comma should be from here. Let's add it and run this again. Okay, total patients. So is the error we are having now. So if we look at it now, it's throwing out an error, which is total patients. So that means we have flubbed somewhere. So here, instead of we to use this one, let's quickly come back here and use this particular variable here for this. So we're going to use this variable. Over here, I'm going to use this. And if I go ahead and run this right now, I still have my error, right? So that should be some kind of typographic error. So I might want to be exact by coming over here to copy this particular total patient from here, this over here. Just copy. So I'm going to copy this. And if I go down here right now, instead of me to use, I forgot that I've changed it to hashtag. So that is what I would have used over here. Let's go ahead and replace it with this very one. So if I run this right now, so we should have a line chart that looks like this. So look at it from from January down to February here. And we need to actually quickly add some couple of, axes to it. So what I'm going to do right now is just to go to the previous one. I'm going to copy this particular print part from here. So copy it. And if we go over here right now, we can go ahead and have this added here. So if I run this now, so here we have something like this, right? So maybe we don't want to print it like this. We want to actually make sure we include it inside the chart. So to get that done now, not print, we're going to do plt.title, right? And if I go ahead and run this now, instead of it to show here, it's showing right here. And if you look at it right now, it displays something here that we don't actually like. So how do we get this one removed? It's very simple. Let's go ahead and do plt.show and run this now. So it has removed that away for us. So there is a way you can do to get this particular one to show on a particular color, increase the size and stuff like that. So let me show you how to get that done. So over here, I'm going to put a comma here and let's just indent it. So inside here now, I'm going to do font size. So we set the font size to 16. And if I run this now, you can see it's bigger than what it were before. If I put it on 20 now, you can see how huge it looks, right? So if you want to change the color right now, put a comma here and go for the color. So let us set the color. We can do it on the same line. So the color should be here. Let's do blue. So here we go. We have something like this. So the color is not restricted to just you typing it in. We can copy this blue color here, and over here we just go ahead and use this particular one. So it's not showing up very well. We might want to actually match it up with this very one here, and we go back and paste it and run this again. Now let's just wait for it. Oh, we have double hash key. So if we run it again now, okay, now it shows up. Look at it right here. This is what it is. So what happens if I go ahead and display this into 2022? Run this. We'll run this over here. So here we go. Doesn't give us what we want. So if I run this now, it's not giving us that. So what can we do to make sure whenever we make any changes, because right here, right now, it's picking 2022 right here. So what do we do so that whenever we run this right here, it gives us exactly what we want to see? I'm thinking of what could be done, because right now it's not catching that. So I can just go over here now and restart the kernel to run all the cells. So let's do that. Okay, you can see it actually worked for me. So this is where you might want to decide to use the shader format, or still you can go all the way up here on this particular part. If you look at this particular part here, we have this particular rotation. So you can just go ahead and copy this, and let's go ahead and see how we can use it right here to make sure we make this to look better. Right, so we can bring this over here. So if I run this now, so it's still giving us this. So we can start playing around with this here. Let's put this at 10. So you can see here. So we're going to put it at 30 to see what it gives us. Run this again. So you can see now it's showing better. So we can put it at 50. Let's see what 50 does. So play around with it until you have your desired, format that you want. This is all you need to do, right? If we go all the way back up here right now, so we can see that over here, it says you should actually show this by month and year. So we have done the weekday, we have done the month, and we have filtered by year. So what is left right now is for you to actually show how many admission do we have for every single year, and we have 3 years of data. So that will be your assignment. Show me what you have done in the comment section. Tell me what you've done, and as well you can share to me via LinkedIn for me to see what your result looks like. This is exactly what you need to do to answer key questions from data using Python.